Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we are talking all about herbs, really getting into how to use or how to really start your herbal journey using plants and flowers, nature to assist you in whatever you're desiring to sort of improve within your body or even externally for either yourself, for your community, like your friends and family. My journey has really been able to grow and expand over the years, and I'm just grateful for where I am now and the knowledge and wisdom that I have now. So I said, you know what, why not come on here, let my community know how to start, or at least the first steps of how to really initiate that journey. If you've been thinking about getting into herbs, working with plants and flowers, you know, and using that as an alternative to medicine, but really just returning back to that place of working with nature and using nature, be it that nature provides and gives us everything that we absolutely need, this is the video for you. And I'm excited to share everything that I have come up with for this video. And be sure to stay tuned to the end of this video, because I will reveal the dangers of herbs and I will give suggestions to which herbs I believe would be a great start for you to begin with. So to talk a little bit about my journey, I began my herbal journey in search of sort of really working towards making my womb happy and healthy. I used to not have the best cycle experiences whenever my cycle would come around monthly. I've been on all types of birth control, pain medication. That was the only thing that my doctors had prescribed to me in order to resolve the solution, but it was never really like solving it. It was more so like a band-aid covering it up, and eventually my body just, it didn't like any of those artificial things really, and it wasn't helpful at all whatsoever. So moving forward, I did not take that as a, oh my gosh, there's absolutely nothing that I can do to assist myself. I started to research. I started to looking into books, going online, even reaching out to people who have already experienced such healing on their journey by using herbs. So that is where my journey began. I had this vision, this goal to really assist and help my body be more balanced and healthy. And so within that, that's where my herbal journey began, and we moved on to work with all different types of herbs like red raspberry, red clover, motherwort, mugwort. And those were some of the ones that like initially began my journey. So that's enough of my journey. I really want to get into these points that I have written down for you guys for when you start your own journey. So numero uno, you do not need a lot to start. Now I know it's very exciting, like once you get into something, especially once you get into herbs, because there's just so many and such a variety, and instead of the actual plant you can use the root, and now the leaves and the roots, they do two different things, and oh my gosh, that's exciting. And oh my goodness, I heard this herb on TikTok or on Instagram of how to do this for my body, so I need to get that. But also I heard all these other things about these 3 other herbs, so I need to get that. And now you end up with 10 to 12 different herbs for no reason at all, for absolutely no reason at all. People who have full-blown apothecaries, and I will also show you mine, are people who have been building their apothecary, expanding their herbal journey, their herbal work over time, over years, over their lifespan of over whenever they begin their journey up until that point. So you see all these extravagant apothecaries, all of these jars and medicines and all of these products that you have, and really those are people who have put a lot of work, a lot of time, a lot of patience and energy into creating that sort of sacred space, their apothecary that they have. So you do not need all of that to start. You do not need a lot of money to start. You don't need all of that. So let's dial it down a little. I know the excitement is there. I know it's a real exciting journey to take, but let's dial it down. Let's dial it down a little bit, because you do not need all that, okay? You will get there eventually, but as of now, let's take it one step at a time. So when you're first starting your journey, you need to start somewhere that's personal to you. Yes, you have heard all of these things about these extravagant variety of herbs from all different kinds of peoples, from all different types of social media platforms, the book you've read, but you need to really sit down and think about, if you haven't had it in mind already, the like the reason, the foundation of your apothecary. Like for example, my foundation was my womb journey, was assisting my womb in being balanced and being healthy. So my herbs were very specific to womb health, and then from there I branched out into other herbs that wasn't the most well-known herbs associated with the womb. So you need to find an herb, or you need to find a point in your journey that's very personal to you. Is it your womb? Do you want to balance out your womb and make it more healthy? Do you want to help aid your digestive system? Maybe you don't even care about that. Maybe you want to have healthier skin. Maybe you want to help enlighten your mood, increase your energy. Maybe you want to help your memory be better, or things of that nature. Whatever it is for you, that's where you need to start. That's where your apothecary, the foundation, is going to begin. So instead of you trying to do all these different things at once, now you're only collecting and doing research on something that's specific to you, it's personal to you, and it's meaningful, it's impactful. Like, you're going to be further encouraged to do the work and do the research to learn more about the herbs that you're using, because now you're working on assisting your body or your health in some way, shape, or form. And then moving on from there, after you've already, you know, done the work, that cough is gone, you no longer have that cough. If you were assisting and trying to get rid of that cough, your digestive system is flowing right, or your womb health is great and grand. Now from then on, you're able to help your community, you're able to help those around you, your family, your friends, the people that follow you on your social media. It's like, hey, this is something that I've done for myself that has been very beneficial for me. So people will start reaching out. Like, you start talking about your journey of, hey, I've worked on my digestive system, I'm able to have regular bowel movements. There's people out there that don't have regular bowel movements, so they might reach out to you and you say, hey, these are the combinations, this is what has worked for me, this is something that I can help support my community in as well. And transitioning into the next point, you need to have a journal or a notebook on hand as soon as you start your journey. Before you start your journey, if you're thinking about starting your journal, get you a notebook. Right, hold on, I'm gonna go get my notebook. Hold on. Okay, so this is mine. So here is the journal that I have. My mommy gifted this to me when I was in college. So within your journal, you are just going to document every single little thing on your herbal journey. If you make any product that you make, any tea blends, any salves, anything that you make that's herbal related, you are going to document it and put it in your journal. Like, for example, for mine, every single time I decide to make an herbal tea, I'll write down all the ingredients that I put in my tea. Even if I added a little honey and lemon in there, I'll still write that down. And then on the side, I'll write down how it tasted. I like the taste. Was it yummy? Was it nasty? Maybe I want to swap out one of the herbs for a different herb. So I'll take note of everything that I'm doing on my journey. If there's an herb that I don't want to work with ever again, I write that down in here. If there's an herb that I absolutely love, I write that down in here. And even if I'm reading a book or going online and doing research, I'm putting all of that in one specific space, and that is my handy dandy herbal notebook, as you can see here. So also with your herbal journey, you can return back to your recipe. So if there's anything that you have used for an extended period of time, you know that you have it written down somewhere in here. As you can see, I have like a little sticky note for something important here. I know that I can go back to a blend that I've used for an extended period of time and say, hey, this is a blend that really works for me. This is something that I want to hold on to, that I want to keep. So now that specific herbal blend is highlighted, or that product is highlighted. So this is going to be your holy grail. This is something that I'm going to pass on to my children. This is something that their children is going to continue passing on. This is going to be a generational thing. Like, everything that I have learned and used to assist myself in being healthy is within this book. And it's just something sacred that you should have on your journey. It's not only helpful on your journey to document it, but something sacred that is going to continue being passed on down throughout your family. Moving on to the next point. Now, when you do begin, try out 1 to 2 herbs at a time and study that herb down. And when I say study that herb down, I mean you are going to explore that herb to the fullest. Now, for example, I'm going to use ginger only because ginger is so commonly used. Say if you're going to get into ginger, right? You need to explore that herb. You need to work with the raw form of ginger. You can work with the dried form of ginger. Ginger also comes in a dried form of powder. You don't have to get the bits, you can get the powder. What about, can you make tea with it? Can you make a tincture out of it? Can you make a salve? Is it able to go on your skin? Can it go into your hair? What all can you do with ginger? Can you cook with it? Can you make ginger muffins? How do the muffins taste? How does the tea taste? How does your body react to it as opposed to you taking it externally to internally? You need to fully explore your herbs and all of its beauty and all of its excitement, and really learn and understand and become familiar with that herb, because that's how you're going to get the most out of it. And for you to explore the herb, now you're understanding your body more. You're seeing how your body reacts to things. And going back to trying out 1 or 2 herbs at a time, like just 1 or 2. Don't go crazy with it. I told you, you don't have to do too much. I know it's exciting, but really starting off with 1 herb, maybe 2. That way you're able to see the impact that it's making on your body. So when you work with herbs, when you work with plants and flowers, no, it's not as strong as like inauthentic medicine. Like, it's not like your side effects are going to be, you might be blind in one eye, one of your legs might stop working, and your heart will stop beating all of a sudden. Like, those side effects are crazy and wild. You don't have those like extreme side effects when working with herbs, but they do have effects on your body. If you get into the habit of working with 5, 6, 8, 10 herbs at a time all at once, how can you tell which one is affecting your body? Say all of a sudden you start having more bowel movements, right? If you were trying to work on assisting your gut and being healthy, functioning correctly, but you're working with 10 different herbs at a time, how can you point out which herb is assisting you into having consistent bowel movements? If you wasn't having consistent bowel movements before and now you are, but you're working with 10 different herbs, how can you point out that, oh, dandelion is the one that is making me have these consistent bowel movements more, or oh, it's marshmallow or slippery elm or whatever it may be. Like, being able to work with 1 or 2 herbs at a time, you're really able to see the specifics of what it's really doing for your body, how it's making an impact on your body, which is necessary, because you are going to have this self-awareness, this super self-awareness of your body when you're working with herbs. You should have that awareness in general, and it is something that you can teach yourself how to do, just being very in the moment, being very present with your body. But limiting yourself to working with 1 or 2 herbs at a time will allow you to point out what herb is doing what. So I recommend really 1. If you're just starting off, just work with 1. But you can work with 1 to 2 herbs, and then after you have fully explored the wide range, like the spectrum of the possibilities of what that specific herb can do, then you can move on to more. So getting into the dangers of herbs, and I say dangers, but really it's just about being mindful and intentional. So like I said before, herbs do have effects on your body. They do make an impact of your body. If you were trying to heal your digestive system, herbs are so their range is so vast. Herbs are so vast that you might have found an herb that you can use that's good for your digestive system, but that herb also does other things, right? So we have to be mindful of that. No herb just does one thing. An herb can do a variety of things, and that's something to be mindful of. Another thing to be mindful of is if you're already taking pre-medication, right? So I'm working on my womb health. I'm not on birth control anymore. I was on birth control when I was younger to help regulate my cycles, and eventually my body just didn't want to be on it anymore. It was kind of rejecting it. It wasn't really helping me at all in any way, so I stopped taking birth control. But birth control gives you hormones, right? There are some herbs that you can use that are also hormonal influenced. They're not inauthentic hormones necessarily, but they can sort of mix and mingle with your birth control, and now all of a sudden you're pregnant because you weren't being mindful of the fact that your birth control does not get along with this herb. It actually just, you might as well not even be taking birth control, and you pregnant and don't know why, and it's because you haven't done your research and you weren't being mindful of which herbs you were taking and things of that nature, right? It's not also the best if you are working with different medications that is things to do with like your blood, like blood pressure medication or heart medication or things of that nature. You want to be careful there. And then also, if you have pre-existing health sort of things going on with your body already, your current health state matters. You don't want to have high blood pressure. You taking a herb that you think is doing one thing, but it's also increasing your blood pressure, and now your blood pressure is even higher, and now you're not having the healthiest experience that you could possibly have. So I'm not calling these dangers, but I'm saying you need to be mindful that herbs make an impact on your body. They affect your body in many different ways, in a variety of ways, and not always the way that you believe is only specifically going to affect you in that one way, because herbs have many different beneficial properties to it. So you do want to be mindful. Another example, you can be allergic. You can have an allergic reaction to an herb that you're using. So I would say consult your healthcare physician before you start doing anything at all with herbs, like really getting deep into your journey of exploring herbs. Talk to your healthcare physician about it. It won't hurt at all. It'll be helpful. Just have a simple conversation, because they know, they already have documents of history of the state and condition of your current health. They already know the medications and things that you're on. If you're not sure about something, like, just talk to your healthcare physician. Go ahead and do that. That's the safest route that you could possibly do. So these are the herbs that I wrote down for first timers, and I wrote down about 8 here, but I'm really gonna give y'all 3. So ginger is one of them. I use ginger as a form of aiding in my digestion, debloating. It'll also help like boost your immune system. It'll also help you like remain healthy. Turmeric is another one that I've listed here. I use turmeric as a way to remove toxins within my body that's not supposed to be there. Peppermint is an herb that can help with nausea. I also use it in my digestive tea blends. And then another one I'm gonna give you is roses. I use roses just because it makes the tea taste better. It makes the tea taste better majority of the time when you're working with flowers. Flowers, I guess not all the time, but flowers will have a sweetness to it, especially when you're working with different bitters and things of that nature. And if you're aiding your digestive system, you are going to be working with a lot of different bitters. But add a few roses in there, a few rose petals, and it'll sweeten it up a little bit. So those are the 3 that I would give you guys that I believe would be a really great first start for you guys. Ginger, turmeric, 4. Ginger, turmeric, roses, and peppermint. So if you want to, you can truly explore these herbs more, and there's so many different things that you can do with these herbs. Like roses, for example, you can make rose tea, you can make rose spray and spray it in your hair. You can make like a rose facial spray and spray it on your face. You can make a rose oil and put it on your skin. Like there's so many different things. There's such a variety when it comes to working with herbs. So if you don't want to use this list, like of course feel free to grab a book from your local library, go online, do some research for some first time herbs. With these herbs that I have listed here are going to be on the safe side, but also still you want to consult your healthcare physician do your own research, because just because these herbs are great first timers for me and these are my suggestions, everybody's body is different, and it doesn't mean that these are herbs that are going to work well and flow well within your body. So know your body, talk to your healthcare physician, do your research, and then go ahead and get into it. And then lastly, the last tips that I would love to give you guys are to buy cute little jars for your herbs. Be sure to label your herbs. If you make products, write the dates, write the ingredients on your products. You want to join a class or a community. There's a community within your community that works with herbs and things of that nature. You just have to find them. They're out there. You can find them on Facebook or Eventbrite, or even volunteering at your local garden. So your local garden can have maybe an herb that you are looking forward to working with, and now you've met somebody that you can build a community with who is also into herbs, and they grow their own herbs and they have more knowledge and wisdom on how to use the herb and things of that nature. So now you've made a whole new friend, like you started your community. But I would say that the top 3 tips that I can give you: work with only 1 or 2 herbs and explore those herbs thoroughly. 2, document your journey. And lastly, be mindful. And that's it, that's all. That's it, that's all. I wanted to give you guys some insight and some wisdom on how to start your very own herbal journey, because it's a beautiful journey to be on, and it takes a lot of trial and error and patience and research and understanding and all things of that nature, but it's definitely worth it. It's definitely fun. And the people that you have within your community, exchanging information with them, exchanging products with them, like it's really cool to be a part of. And now we have reached the end of this video. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. If you haven't already, be sure to follow me on my social media accounts at Coco Dumpling. If you're interested in learning more about herbs, or just seeing how I use herbs within like my everyday routines, different herbal teas, herbal baths, sometimes I cook with herbs, like be sure to follow me on my Instagram and my stories and my reels. I share a lot more about like just my own personal herbal journey, if that's something that you're interested in. And yeah, I appreciate you being here. I appreciate you watching. Best of luck to you on your herbal journey. I'm so excited to like hear about it. I want to hear about it. Yeah, tell me about it. I want to know what herb you're going to work with first, what things you've made with that specific herb. Like, I want to hear all about it. Like, come back in the comments or DM me, tell me about it, because child, I want to know what you gonna make. You gonna make some rose oil, you gonna make some ginger muffins, and I will see you guys in my next video.